All right, so if you haven't been living on a rock, you've watched episode 3 of The Last of Us. It's so good. So good. And representation matters. So I brought in 2 experts, subject matter experts, introducing once again Demi and Java.
Hi.
And we are going to dive into what made The Last of Us episode 3 so great.
Okay.
All right, so where do we start? What were the things that you think set the bar so high? I want to start off with the 2 actors gave the hell of a performance.
Incredible.
Okay, so I very loosely played the game.
Mm-hmm.
I've played...
Same. I mean...
It's one of those games that I rather watch than play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only because, like, it's such an immersive game.
Mm-hmm.
Playing it, I'm just like, I wouldn't be able to handle this. But in the game, if I remember correctly, Frank is mentioned, and it's heavily implied that they're together.
All right, so spoiler alert for the game, I guess. I've played the game. You're good. I've played the game. So yes, Frank is mentioned, and it is mentioned that they were partners. That's what they keep saying in the game. But Bill is present in the game, and Frank and him have split up. So you learn after the fact that Bill was gay. They kind of, it's not that it's like hidden, but it's not like spoken of, and it's really more. It's more pressed upon because they find a playgirl, and Ellie sees a penis.
So how could I ever forget the first penis I saw? First penis, very first penis. First penis, very first penis I saw.
I'm gonna need to see that clip again.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah, so she sees it, and then she of course cracks jokes because that's what any teenager does, whether it's a boy or a girl. Like, you're gonna crack jokes about sex. It's just funny.
Jokes about it all the time.
Yeah, because we never got past the point of being teenagers. All right, so what else made the episode, in your opinion, impactful? The thing that I liked most about it is that it filled in. So the game had the story, but it obviously didn't have like as much story as they put into the episode. Mm-hmm. And I think that the time jumps in it worked really well. I don't think that anybody went into episode 3 thinking, oh man, you know what this zombie post-apocalyptic show is going to really do for me? It's going to make me cry. Well, they right out the gate, like right from the jump, they explained to you that this is going to be different than, the viral, magical, bringing back a zombie thing. Like, they explained it with science, and then they just kind of ran with it. And I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Because it adds that level of fear, but like, that level of fear and realism is what I think we experienced in the relationship between Bill and Frank, because there's a realness to it.
It felt authentic.
Yeah, it was an authentic feel, and also like we've all met a Bill. We all know somebody who's like a semi-prepper, not necessarily like to the extent where they can hide in their basement or whatever, but like they have a game plan for if the world should end or fall apart, or how to build stuff, or
I think I'm living with
or have like guns. And then you introduce Frank, who's more of like a soft character. But one of the things that I think was important is that it was a very different gay character.
Yeah. And I felt like, even though it's very apparent that they were gay, it wasn't like the hot button. It was like what they were going through was more focused on.
I thought it was a good, well-rounded episode.
It was written really well.
I mean, like, you got everything.
That's what I want in a filler. That is exactly what I want.
So I don't even think that the episode was filler.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oh yeah, it fleshed Bill out more.
Well, no, it wasn't even that it fleshed out Bill. It's part of the. So the story of The Last of Us is you're not just following. I mean, yeah, it's really easy to say you're following Ellie and Joel, but you're literally following what the title says. You're following The Last of Us, the last parts of humanity, and Frank and Bill are part of that humanity. And it was watching a character deliver drive and focus for a main character, even though they didn't share that much screen time, which is what I think made it dynamic. So you have like Joel, who is now given this task and has a purpose, and Bill makes reference to that in his letter towards the end, which I think was a good way to say, hey, this was an episode that was apart from this, but it is a part of this, because they are part of The Last of Us.
Right.
And then of course you have all the backlash that HBO faced. Not like there are so many people out there who say that they love the episode, but like 27,000 negative reviews just randomly show up on IMDb. Like that's a bum. Like just to drag the episode down because you don't like to see men kiss.
Deal. Guess what, everybody? Gay is everywhere. The way that they handled it was so innocent and it was so pure, and because he had never been with anybody but a woman once, because this was what he was fighting. I know people right now who can't come to terms with it, and I have to keep that to myself, obviously, but they can't come to terms with it because they can't see a way through their structure that they've been given or they've been taught or they believe in order to be themselves. And that was showcased perfectly, I think. And that's a big situation.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to go through. I've seen it many times.
Yeah, I was excited about this episode for so many reasons. I loved it was just a certain level of love and passion that was there that you just wouldn't expect in these type of shows.
And these type of characters.
Yes, and these type of characters. And another thing about representation is that what made this one different is we don't see that age range very often. When we get stuff, it's always like a come to age story of somebody,
They've already
some little skinny kid
something that's aesthetically
like
pleasing.
We rarely get something like this, and I love that.
This is real gay, everyone. The pretty boys are for show. They get real in the country. Believe it.
But despite the negative reviews, I think that it was fantastically acted.
Oh my God, yes.
Nick Offerman and
Brilliantly casted.
Murray Bartlett did a fantastic job.
Yes.
Phil, like it did in the game, very closely too.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, yes, kinda. But I mean, it was so great to see like just this. And what's crazy about it is that what got them in the end wasn't even the fungus. It wasn't even the infected. It was just something that we can't even handle now in a modern 2023. We have not figured out whatever he had. We don't know what it was. Was it cancer? Was it MS? Was it something else? We don't know. We just know that it debilitated his motor skills. Frank made the decision. Like one of my favorite lines in the entire show is "Let me love it the way I want," and then it gets repeated towards the end when, of course, he says, "If you love me the way I want you to."
Yes.
Broke me.
And you are my purpose. Also, like it was these poignant, like pointed lines of dialogue. Like it was so good because it was just like it's straight to the heart of the issue, which is that like, you know, we've lived our lives, we've done what we needed to do, we showed our purpose.
I'm tired.
I'm tired, and I don't want to live in the world without you. I mean, it was so sweet and so pointed, and just that's what made it so hard because it was like. Because in the beginning when he's like, "This is gonna be my last day," I was like, "Oh, okay." And then they'll get to Bill, and Bill will be by himself. And then like at the end, I was like, he finished it. Like he was like, "No, you," and he was right. It wasn't the tragic suicide at the end of the play. He was old. He was satisfied, and he knew that it was his time. And that's humanity at its best, is knowing like it's time.
Love persevering, kids.
Yeah, like, but man, that was hard.
That
like.
was.
It is a hard watch, and if you're not emotionally prepared for it, which I don't think anybody was, because again, in an infected zombie show, I don't think anybody's like, "Oh man, you know what I really want to watch? I want to watch Pedro Pascal battle depression."
Yeah, right.
Like,
and then
and the part where she had to read that letter really got me. Got me.
That was a good punch for me.
Oh, it got me.
Yeah, like
it was so. I mean, it was so good. Just the writing was just incredible. It really was.
Yeah, and one of the things that I also really liked is that they used the same song, which and it's crazy to me to watch other people and they don't realize that the song that's played on the radio at the end is the song that they played on the piano in the beginning.
Holy!
No, I didn't realize that till you just said it.
It's the greatest hits of Linda Ronstadt. That's the same song. He had it on the cassette tape in his thing, and that's why.
Say no, just leave it on.
Yeah, that.
Oh my god!
And that's why the title is, Long, Long Time, because that's the title of the song.
I did not know that. I did not.
Welcome to The Last of Us doing a Running Up That Hill. I see you.
Oh.
I see what you're doing.
Oh.
Wow.
It's good to see she got new life.
I expect it. You know what's going to happen, Linda Ronstadt? Your song's going to be in the top 10 on iTunes also. Just wait. It's going to be Welcome to Spotify Wrapped 2023. Wait, why did I listen to Long, Long Time so many times? Oh, that was that episode of The Last of Us. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
They're going to make a 4-hour mix. Be prepared.
I love
Yeah, it'll be performed by Ariana Grande or something and put on the radio.
And several other has-beens.
No,
she.
I was like, wait a second. Ariana Grande isn't.
The Leo gods would kill me for saying that. No, I said her with several other has-beens.
Yeah. But it's always interesting to me to see like how certain things get missed. For example, I caught that, but apparently it wasn't caught by everybody. Now they're going to go back and they're going to listen to it and they're like
distraught.
Oh no, so that like
connect to that.
Every choke. And now Ellie's got a gun. I mean, I'm ready to see what she does with it. I have theories for where we're going with it. Theories. We'll talk about those in another video.
Where I'm not here to know.
But I did want to say that great job by all involved. This episode alone deserves an Emmy. The series is doing fantastic. Nick Offerman, Murray Bartlett, if there's some kind of an award that you can get from somewhere, I've said it before and I will say it again, you deserve it. Like, it was so good.
Nicotero, I'm going to bite you again.
You dragged an entire audience in, captured them, broke their hearts, and then set them back out beyond your fences.
Oh my God.
And I think it's going to stick with your audience for a long, long time. But let us know what you thought in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that like, subscribe, and the little bell for notifications. And we'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe out there, guys, and thanks for joining.